Hello everyone, I have good news for you today. It's all about the Home Care Worker Immigration Pilot Program, which was announced several months ago. It's basically going to have two streams. That is one, the workers in Canada stream, and applicants who are not in Canada stream. And it's going to be piloted March 31st, 2025. The requirements are very simple, and I want you all to get this requirement ready so that once the portal is opened, those who qualify can put in the application. And one thing we have to take note of is the portal, when it's opened, it will only be for those who are in Canada for the meantime. Then later, information for those who are outside Canada will also be put out, and the date which the portal will be open for them so that they can apply. Let's move on to the requirements. So one of the requirements for this new Home Care Worker Pilot Immigration Program is one, you have a high school diploma, which is equivalent to the Canadian level. So for example, if you are in Canada and you are a worker, but you have a credential which is outside Canada, what you have to do is you have to do a credential evaluation, and you can use World Evaluation Services, that is WES, or any other evaluation service for this evaluation. And when you're doing the evaluation, you choose for immigration purposes. This evaluation of your foreign credential will put you at par with that of the Canadian qualification or educational requirement. Now, another qualification or requirement for this pilot program is the language requirement. That is the Canadian language benchmark, which is known as the CLB. And one of the good things about this pilot program is the language requirement is just CLB 4. You need 4 for all levels. Okay, so for listening, you need CLB 4. For writing, you need CLB 4. For speaking, you need CLB 4. And for reading, you also need CLB 4. So you can simply register for the IELTS or the CELPIP, that's the general test, and write this English proficiency so that you'll be able to get a required score. Once you prepare, there are a lot of YouTube videos online. When you use them to prepare, you can easily get this CLB 4. And that is one thing I would require you to. Remember, even if you have the language proficiency results already and it's more than 2 years old, you won't be able to use it. So you have to ensure that even if you have the proficiency results already, it should be less than 2 years old. So if your language test is more than 2 years old, you simply need to write a new one. Then another requirement is you need just a relevant or recent work experience in the home care area or caregiver area, or you need 6 months related home care training. So those who are outside Canada who are wondering, oh, I do not have the Canadian work experience, can I apply? Yes, you can absolutely apply once the portal is open for those who are outside Canada as well. So remember, you only need a recent or relevant work experience, or you need 6 months of related home care training. So those who are healthcare professionals and they have this experience or this training, you can just prepare and put in the application once the portal is opened. Then one good thing about the requirement is that there is also flexibility of the work options. And this simply means that you don't only have to get a job offer from, let's say, a known institution or a known organization in Canada. Even private households, like people who have their own homes and they are ready to give you job offer letters, you can use that to apply for this particular pilot program. But the job offer must be a full-time job, and it should be non-seasonal. A full-time job offer, and it should be non-seasonal. So basically, the requirements are simple if you ask me. One, the language proficiency, CLB 4 for all levels, a full-time job offer, high school diploma, which is equivalent to the Canadian credential, then a full-time job offer. Maybe one of the difficult things to get will be the full-time job offer. But even if you have friends or families in Canada, they can recommend certain websites which you can use to apply for some of these caregiving or support work jobs in Canada. And one good thing about this program is that both you and your family can transition from this program and get your permanent residency, because the program is purposely to bring in these caregivers or support workers so that they can also get their permanent residency. One key important information we have to be aware of is that when the portal opens on 31st March 2025, it is only going to be for those who are in Canada. And let's take note of something. There have been some number of spots that have been released for those who are in Canada. So for those who are in Canada, we have only 2,600 spots for in-Canada applicants. 2,600 spots for in-Canada applicants. And even if you're in Canada and you're out of status, you might be lucky because another extra 150 spots has been allocated for those who are out of status applicants. So if you're already in Canada and you're a worker, that is, you have a full-time job offer in the home care industry or in the support worker industry or the healthcare industry already, what you can simply do to prepare is to get your credentials evaluated if they are not Canadian credentials. Then you also prepare and write the language test, that is the CELP paper, the IELTS, and ensure you get a CLB 4 for all the levels I mentioned earlier. So if you are working here in Canada, that is simply what you have to do so that once the portal is open on 31st March, you can put in your application. Remember, the slot for in-Canada applicants are less. And since it's a pilot program, a lot of people are going to apply. This is not the first of its kind. There have been similar programs in the past, and a lot of people had to apply and close some of these portals earlier than expected. So, as the saying goes, preparation meets opportunity. Once you prepare and the time is due, you can simply put in your application without any hassle. Also, just a word of caution to those who are outside Canada. There might be some unscrupulous people out there who might give you fake job offer letters. It is your duty to verify that these job offer letters are genuine, they are legit, so that at the end of the day, you might not end up submitting an application which will be termed as fraudulent. And when you submit an application which is fraudulent, you are likely to face a ban of 5 years, whether you know or you don't know, because ignorance in terms of Canadian immigration is not an excuse. So let me just do a quick recap of the requirements that we need, both those who are inside and outside Canada. So first of all, you need a language test, that is the English proficiency, CLB of 4 for all levels. You need a full-time job offer, in this related area, and that job offer should be non-seasonal. Let's take note of that. You also need a high school diploma or higher, And those who have credentials which are not Canadian credentials, you simply have to do an evaluation. Then also, you also need a 6 months of recent and relevant work experience. Or if you don't have this, you can simply also have a 6 months of related caregiver training credential. So health professionals out there, those who are in the support working industry, those who are in the home care industry, this is an opportunity for you to get to Canada as a permanent. Making reference to all this information I've shared, I hope it will be useful to someone out there. Get all these documents that I've mentioned, prepare, and once the portal is opened March ending of this year, you can simply submit your application for those who are inside Canada. If you're outside Canada, just stay tuned and check on the Canadian government website for more updates for those who are outside Canada. If this video has been very helpful to you, I would ask that you share, you comment, you like, and you subscribe. I thank you all for supporting the growth of my channel, and we are grateful for pushing the Delali Network. God bless everyone. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.